GSL SuperTournament Season 2. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. 2018 GSL SuperTournament Season 2.
You know, I feel like these drawn pictures, they definitely make all the pro gamers look epic. It's really super cool. But they're like, you know what? These pro gamers aren't epic enough. Let's give them all Harstem's lips. They're like, oh, that's it. When they saw it, they're like, yes, we did it! They all have Harstem's lips.
They do get Harstem lips, man.
They do.
They got those drawings on there.
Jeez.
So we are going to go to Stats versus Trap, a best of 5. Now, I think Stats is supposed to win this, right? I mean, Trap's good, but Stats, come on.
I think it's a good match. Yeah, Stats may be a little advantage here. But Trap right now, he is actually the guy, like, if he beats Stats, he moves into 8th place for BlizzCon, right?
Yeah.
He is you know, he was the one right after Gumiho, basically, on the standings. He was 9th coming into tonight. Obviously, SOS, because he's already advanced, has moved ahead of Trap. But Trap has 25 points on SOS. So Trap actually has, coming into the tournament, in my opinion, the best chance of getting into BlizzCon. But obviously Stats is, I mean, he's the shield of ire, for God's sake. Okay?
You're right.
What is this guy of ire? The Dirk of ire?
He's like, what, the Trap on ire?
The Trap on ire?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's not on ire, because as far as I know, the Zergs still control that. Don't
That's a good
spoil
point.
the ends of
we haven't beat
the
Legacy
campaign.
yet.
It'll happen.
One day. When I got a really bad fever. Okay. It's time. Stats versus Trap. Yes.
Yeah, it should be actually a good PvP. I like Trap's PvP.
How could you not?
But to be honest, the last time he played that big PvP group, and every game he was like, hey guys, you know what I think is really good? And we're like, what do you think is really good, Trap? He's like, Glaive Adepts. But Trap, no one's really won with that in PvP in a while. No. It's really good. And then he went ahead and lost like all his games basically.
Yeah.
But then other people started using it a lot. Hey, what's that mean? Tell me what that means.
I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know, Daniel Stemkowski. Daniel Ray Stemkowski.
All right, Nicholas Alexander Plot.
All right,
Nicholas
Archmage Danny.
Jeez.
We took the original Nicholas and made it better by getting rid of the H. But
Well,
really,
you were Nicholas before that.
That's it was very confusing. But really, you called me Nicholas. I've only heard Nicholas when my mom is mad at me. So.
Yeah, and then you did that to me. So I had to do it to you.
Bringing up our pass here. Anyways, guys, best of 5 time. This is the last best of 5. By the way, here for today's GSL SuperTournament, Stats versus Trap, starting out on the map, Lost and Found.
GSL SuperTournament Season 2, Round of 16, Match 4. Splice, Stats.
What?
Splice!
Yeah, the voice sounded a little bit different
God,
this
now I
time.
really hope Stats gets eliminated.
Tin Air Green wins. Trap.
It's funny, too, because Stats is like the nicest, coolest pro gamer in the world.
Yeah.
If he loses them, you're like, oh, man, I'm so glad you lost.
He's why it's like a stupid meme no one's going to remember in a long time. Ooh, I like that. Stat support here.
That's a quality sign.
Okay. What do we got from these two guys? Double gate right now for Stats. Again, PvP, there's so many different ways to play the early game.
Yeah,
that
there really is.
There's so many different mini games and strategies you have to know, and some of the tactics that sometimes come with them if you're going to win. That's one of the reasons why PvP is such a great mirror matchup in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it is quite nice in StarCraft 2. I like PvP quite a bit.
I think lately it's been shorter, but I think that's also because the way that we have Legacy of the Void right now, there's so many different options that are open here.
There's a lot of little tricks you can just kill your opponent
I mean,
with.
one thing that's, I mean, people are generally misled when they watch almost any game where they'll see one pattern happen that day and assume that's actually what the whole thing looks like. And PvP, I think, is among esports and stuff like that, the greatest example of where you'll be misled, because you can watch 10 PvP games and they're all doing different things.
Yeah.
And someone might say, well, what are you supposed to do? And it's like, oh man, that's really hard to explain. You have to understand a bunch of concepts about what the players are trying to play around, potential threats the other player can throw at you.
And there's a lot of funny little things where it's like, well, theoretically this counters that, but actually the thing that's okay, to make a very specific thing, yes, Phoenix's, if you see someone going Phoenix against Oracle, you're like, oh, that's an advantage, but a really top-end player with an Oracle against Phoenix's can kill the Phoenix player with the Oracles as well. So there's a lot of like tactical plays.
So the probe gets in here for stats, and we'll see the Stargate coming along there.
He's going to scout this forward pylon. Stats, of course, he knew that something was out there. Oh
my God, that was close.
Yeah, that's almost game-ending too.
Yeah,
if those get in.
That's happened before too in GSL.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have 2 adepts just get inside, and yeah, I mean that's a lot of damage you're eating right there.
So Trap right now with that Stargate, you know, just going Oracle against looks like the 3-gate Prism play coming out of stats.
Big moment here, no shields on that Stalker. So yeah, the Warp Prism's coming along. We have that Oracle, as you were saying, Artosis, coming out now. It is going to be Trap trying to take that Nexus first. Probably confident with the threat of the Oracle, he can't really be attacked here, right? But in fact, I think with the 3 gateways coming here in the Warp Prism, that threat is very real.
Yeah. The Prism Stalker right now is such a powerful way to play in PvP. Just the juggling, it's like actually quicker than Blink with quicker cooldown.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny the way that it works out, but you will cancel the Nexus or kill the Nexus if it's finished.
So they're about to both start taking a lot of damage right away. Let's see how quickly Trap reacts to the front of his base. Now the 3 Stalkers here, they can answer to the Oracle.
Yeah. Look at this. He's already canceled that Nexus as soon as he sees it coming. He knows what's up. Goes up the ramp. Oh, yeah, that's nice. The double pylon, the shield battery there as well. So with all that, and he'll be all right for now. But obviously you can just micro this endlessly.
Yeah, it's really tricky, even though you have the high ground over here as someone like Trap. And of course, oh wow, he actually gets through. That can draw some of the fire away. And you can see that Trap has to respect that. He has to go back and try to deal with that. Now the Observer, spots the Oracle. The Oracles, I should say, now trying to come in over here. They can one-shot workers, but 4 Stalkers is definitely an answer to that. I mean, that can really mute the presence of the Oracles.
This really shows how strong this 3-gate Prism play has become now, that you can literally start it with 3 less Stalkers because they're in your main base, and then have 4 Stalkers sitting at home, and it's like, well, yeah, totally safe, no problems whatsoever, still going to cancel your Nexus and kill buildings at the bottom.
That was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. There was no way to get a kill on that pylon there. The Stalkers basically defend.
Oh! What? Yeah, Immortal out. That's where you can start to hold this a bit better.
Okay. I think, yeah, with the Immortal, he really will have to back off. I think you're right. But, you know, he can keep them locked in, right? I mean, the sentries, I should say, can force field that for a while. There is a Robo out now for Trap. He doesn't have a Warp Prism, right?
No, he doesn't have one yet. I would imagine he's going to get one, though, because against something like this, so I guess one of the weaknesses, really, of the Prism 3-gate is you don't have Blink, you don't have Stargate, right? So Immortal drops actually are really, really strong.
Very true.
And look at this. These Stasis Wards that Trap just put down, this tells me that he's going to go for an actual push here, rather than just harassment. Because when you're retreating with this smaller army, if any of it gets frozen up, like the counterattack can actually really do wonders. Oh, but look at this. He's actually, Trap is getting a robotic support bay here. I mean, Prism's speed can be absolutely fantastic in a place like this, but disruptors are always strong as well.
What's he doing with the Warp Prism now? because he's not moving out with it. It looks like he actually wants to try to break free of this position.
Yeah, totally. If you set up those...
With the batteries, the Warp Prism, the Immortals, yeah, there's just no way, dude. But, of course, you can keep force fielding that ramp, which is kind of funny. Yeah. If you don't elevate your army out of there, you're going to get that Nexus up a little bit later. Ultimately, this whole fight is so that Trap can gain control of an area down there and get a Nexus up. And when you look at Stats' base, the Nexus is already done.
Oh, this is funny, too. Yeah, that's a huge advantage, right? But you got to move out as Trap, I would say.
I think so.
But these Stasis Wards, he just did a recall instead of walking home. We've seen some games where people walk home after doing this, and then the Stasis Wards catch him. It seems like Stats are really on top of everything, as per the usual.
As they say.
As they say, they being us.
As per the usual. So, Trap is eventually going to come out. Yeah, that is unfortunate that those Stasis Wards didn't really get to do anything. It seems like he's ready for a Warp Prism harass in the main. He's ready at the front.
This is cool.
Trap is just fundamentally behind, so he needs to come up with something, and I'm worried that actually the defense here is going to be too good from Stats.
This is... But, you know what? The Disruptor can just continually gain value here. Let's see it. Nice. Decent hit there. He has a second Disruptor now.
Yeah, the Disruptor's about the only thing that Trap has really going for him here. And there's not a lot of... Whoa! That's so funny.
It's always funny to see the Observer live through things and shit not. It's like such the weakest unit.
Okay, so there's a little bit more footing now for Stats. He's got this great Immortal spread here in the front. Keep in mind, it's important for Trap. He gets in here and does damage quickly because these these probes are already mining a lot of minerals over here at this natural base.
He's down 9 probes.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Ooh. Oh.
Very decent hit right there.
Yeah.
But Trap is not microing well.
Yeah, well,
like he just lost a bunch of units. There's just a Prism sitting there.
What's funny is
he could have picked him up.
There's so much army here for Stats. I mean, he has enough to cover his main.
Yeah.
And so Trap is just going to pull the trigger. He's going to try to come forward here. Again, the Warp Prism micro is pretty damn impressive. And
yeah, by Stats, whereas Trap doesn't have any.
Yeah, I mean, he's done some damage with that Disruptor. He did take out another Immortal.
Yeah.
Trap is trying. I mean, Stats' army supply is actually getting kind of low here. Again, all coming down to these Disruptor hits. Now there's 2 Disruptors.
You know, I mean, I don't want to make it seem like it's easy to micro everything that Trap is microing and use the Prism, but just the fact that the Prism hasn't done anything in the battle.
Okay, Trap's going to try to push through now. Oh, going to get that Disruptor. Huh.
Well, he's still trying here. He's killed a lot of probes, so...
I mean, all that Stats has to do is last through this, really.
Well, at this point, I think that even if Trap pulls back, he's good to go, right? Because he's up 11 probes now.
Yeah.
He's got decent tech. Like, I guess Blink is about to finish here for Stats, so that's definitely nice.
Good pickup there. Again, the Warp Prism very low over here for Stats. Got to be careful. Looks like that Warp Prism does finally go down, which eliminates all the micro opportunities there. Might try to come over here. No, he's not going to be able to get that Warp Prism no matter what. Controlling these Immortals very well. And this means the isolated Immortal over here is going to be picked off. Oh, finally, that Trap actually pays off. So he'll hunt that down.
Definitely wants to get that final kill.
And from here, I believe that there's pretty much nothing back at home here for Trap, right?
Ooh, nice.
Just a Disruptor going back here. A Disruptor alone is not a good unit. You need backup with that.
Well, now that there's Blink here for Stats, that's really going to be useful. Suddenly the Disruptors are not quite as powerful or anywhere near as powerful without that backup that you say. If you had a bunch of ground units with it too, it's like, okay, yeah, you can't just use all your Blink at once, but here you can.
Trap, again, going for stronger at depths here. He's got these Immortals out now, and I think the army is just too thin, too simple right now. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
Such good control from Stats. Damn, dude. That was pretty crazy. He's closing in here now. I think this should be the where the game begins to end. I mean, there's just not enough.
The beginning of the end, maybe?
As they say.
As they truly actually do say.
Oh, Artos. Yeah, this game's over. Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's super duper.
Yeah.
Super duper open. Over. God, barely speak.
It's Overtown.
It's Overtown.
Yeah.
Did you see that blink in?
If this was a hard drive, he's overclocking it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
if this is a Blizzard game, it's Overwatch. That's how over it is. Jeez. Okay, Stats takes game 1.
I want to say I have a recent memory about Trap not microing as well as his opponents, maybe from that PvP group that we had last season. I want to say that, but I don't have 100%. I'm pretty sure I have that memory, but I think he actually wins this game if he can micro his Prism a little bit during his main attack. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for perfect hot pickups all over the place. I'm not asking for heroes level control or even what Stats did there, but a little bit. And I think he might have been able to finish Stats off. Instead, his Prism literally did nothing the entire... It just sat there siege. You know what it was? It was a flying pylon that didn't give supply.
Wow.
Is that even good? I don't even know, because we don't have that as a building. Why would we?
We got to wait for StarCraft 3 for that one, Artosis.
Yeah.
Game 2's ready. Let's do this.
GSL SuperTournament, Season 2, Round of 16, Match 4.
Who's that?
Who? Oh, this? Well,
Slice, Stats.
okay, funny you asked. Well, here's his name. Let me just change my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, now hold on, ready? Let me see if I can get this one right.
Okay.
Over here we have...
Jin Air Green Wings, Trap.
How did I sound?
You sounded pretty good.
People don't know that's really my voice. I just kind of
Yeah.
clear my throat a little bit before I say it. So we're seeing really different play styles from both of these guys. Now, I frankly just like what Stats is doing better. It makes more sense to me, but also it's delivering the results. Trap is very much into his own style, and I feel like we're watching, like, Stats is using like a phone to play his music, and Trap is walking around with like a CD Walkman. Like, that also plays music, but this is not. It has not been working for Trap. His PvP. Does that make sense?
He has a little bit of a hipster PvP going on.
Yeah. You've probably never heard of it before.
Or I heard of it a long time ago because I'm old. And, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm fine with the Oracle opening. That's cool. He gets contained. Okay, yeah, that's what happens when you have those two builds face each other. The Disruptor push I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, I actually don't have too much problems with how he played it. It's just the...
What do you think about
zero micro was
better at
weird.
depths later on? I mean, he was going for that upgrade at the end, and that seems to be one of these things where it's like when everything falls apart, he bets on that upgrade.
He certainly does. He's been pretty addicted to it lately. I don't know what I think exactly about that. Like, I guess he had a bigger economy. If you have a bigger economy, Glaive Adepts can be very good because you just kind of overwhelm your opponent. It's like one of those dumb things where it's like, yeah, I mean, I killed 5 of his drones early on, so I went roaches and killed him. It's like, yep, I killed a bunch of his probes. I killed 14 probes, so I went Adepts and killed him. So I would understand that, I guess. Just, like you said, one Disruptor alone is not
the
good.
Disruptor alone, I think it was a smart idea, but it didn't do enough damage in time. I mean, you could see when Stats saw it coming, he just pulled everything back.
Yes.
Okay, you can't get that much ground here.
Yeah.
If I've got a Warp Prism, I've got 4 Immortals. If I control perfectly, the shots from the Disruptor never really connect with the chunkier parts of my army, like the groups of Stalkers. And it kind of outlasted it. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
This is one way to lose. Oh,
yeah, good
you're
force
so
field,
good.
Good force field.
You still end up losing a ton of stuff, though.
Yeah, this was still fantastic. 3 probes and the Sentry.
It's funny
And now
because
the Sentry doesn't get the Scout off.
there's I mean, if you just get those 2 Adepts inside their base, obviously there's so much going on and so much you're looking for to try to catch. But yeah, getting 2 Adepts a lot of times just changes the entire makeup of the game overall. Like you were saying, he doesn't get that Scout off immediately.
Send his Phoenix across, and that'll have to be it. This is kind of neat that he's going Forge right now.
Yeah.
You don't normally see Forge that quick.
It's not like he's trying to do anything right away, but I guess if Stats doesn't do anything dramatic right away, maybe this puts Trap in a better position. I mean, Stats is generally regarded as somebody who is more of a passive player than other Protoss players.
You know what? And if you scout that your opponent is going for Stargate, as Stats is, and you've done things like you've killed the Sentry, I mean, the Forge this is not even a bad call, really, when you think about it, right? Because your gas is really used up for a bit with the Stargate play. You have to make some Stargate units, and then you have to go into Robo, generally, unless you're like SOS or something, and, you know, get some Immortals and things like that because you're fighting against Blink Stalkers. But if he's just sitting here getting +1, I mean, I don't know if Trap is even going to go for Blink. He doesn't necessarily have to. He can just go for upgrades and go into like Archon Zealot and just have a really strong +2 timing or something like that. That's kind of neat.
Maybe.
I guess if you make this many Stalkers, you're going to go Blink no matter what. But
that being said, these Phoenixes and the Stalkers on the map have gotten a lot of kills on Trap already. I mean, just thinning out that army, taking out these pylons. I mean, this is really reducing options and overall bulk here for Trap.
He's losing his gains, would you say?
Yeah, I would say.
As they say.
As they say.
Tasteless, I missed you.
It's good to be back, Artosis. I missed you too. But the vacation has made us more powerful.
Well, I may have been on a holiday.
Made us better casters.
My family. But truly, it's more like solitary confinement if I'm not with you, Tasteless. You may as well just put me in prison and lock me away.
Well, this is so fun to be doing Super Tournament too, because I just love like where we're at right now in the year, and there's so much on the line for all these players, and we get to have this whole tournament go through in 4 days.
It's pretty sick.
Okay, the Phoenixes are continuing to move around. No, they're not. They're standing still. Why did I say that? I'm a fraud. There's a Templar Archivist coming down here, too. I saw like a hallucinating one moving, then I looked at the real ones, and I'm like, I'm not saying anything of value here.
Probes moving around.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
The probes are mining. Oh, God,
again.
that was not mining either.
I just say things when I see things on the screen.
They're going to catch on eventually, these viewers.
Oh, he must be cannon rushing. Oh, wait, no. That Forge is upgraded.
Not a single cannon in the game.
Oh, man. So here is that. Actually, Trap is going for what I was saying before. +2. He's getting his charge. This is going to be super powerful. I guess Stats got his Forge up with reasonable time, so he'll only be down 1 upgrade. So that's kind of nice, I guess, right?
Absolutely. 2 bases set up over here. They're just going to power pretty hard. Here comes that. Can you actually catch this? Oh,
Still gets the probe, though.
Little denial there on the Nexus. But, of course, now Stats knows exactly when Trap wanted to take his 3rd base. Let's see if he tries to match it. Or maybe if he stays back. And I mean, he is making a War Prison. Maybe he actually wants to try to come over here and put some pressure on.
So, the Archon's coming out. This is looking pretty strong right now by Trap. He's definitely got a much stronger army, and that's +2 upgrades coming right along. Both players taking their 3rd. So this is the easiest denial of Trap's life on this 3rd base. There's never been a 3rd base that couldn't finish more than Stats' 3rd base can't finish.
Well,
it hasn't happened.
You say that, but he's moving down.
Dude, it's gone. Just, you see that big red square? Never tasteless. Ever tasteless.
Same with these rocks. And you can see Stats is just staying back. Those rocks got so owned. They're like pebbles now. It's crazy.
Yeah, Stats is so defending right now. Look how defending he is.
Oh, hold on. We got a Immortal drop over here. If only we had a term for a pylon like that. Now, finally, the prophecy is true, and Artosis has never been more right in his whole life. That was not canceled.
Wow. I was going to say as well, I wish he had waited for it to finish at this point.
Yeah.
Because there was never a chance that
was
was going to finish, like
I mentioned. Gets the Observer. Gets the Hallucinated Phoenix, too. Whoa! This is madness.
Double kill.
Okay, he's going to push out.
Yeah, but Trap's backing up now. But hold on. When you're trying to run away on Dreamcatcher, this is something that kills me.
Yeah.
You got to kill these rocks. But everyone should just kill those rocks. The amount of times I see people lose units running away through there.
Yeah, through the bottleneck.
Maybe not this time, but normally.
Okay, Stats is coming up now. Can he contest the third base here of Trap?
Well, I guess he's got one more Immortal. But I don't
That
think
is the
so.
secret to casting PvP, Artosis, is
Yeah,
how many
it's-
Immortals are there.
I know that's your way, so
That's the way.
Oh, look at that harass. Sick harass.
Look at those rocks. In Pebbletown for sure, Artosis. As they say.
Once he kills the other one, though, it'll be Pebble City. That's what happens when towns get too big.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's
Oh
about to
my
gentrify
God.
Pebble City over here, man.
Oh, jeez.
Is he really going to go for it?
No, that's the wrong side of the tracks in Pebble City. You don't want to go into there.
He's got a lot of Archons.
He does, but so does his opponent.
Yeah, but I don't think the Archons are in as good of a spot.
He has 2 in a prism, though.
Hmm.
What's he doing with that prism? Get it back over here. You're scaring me. What is this? What was that? What's he doing?
More
What's that
Archons.
prism up to?
Is he going to try to
Is
just
he
go
trying
for
to
it?
trick him into coming so he can drop out his Archons? Like, haha, we have the
Actually,
same amount of Archons.
Dude, I think you're right. That might be it. It's kind of like when you hide the tanks in the medevac just because they don't see it, and they get there a little bit quicker, of course, with the push, but...
Now
I
you
think
do it with
Stats
Archons. This. What is
Oh,
this?
what? Trap's gonna
no,
go for it?
no,
No!
you can't do it. You can't do it.
But you can't go that way either. What is
Concave and convex stasis.
As they
you taught
say.
us. You
it?
taught
As
us
they
like-
said too many times, and it became a meme. Uh-oh. He
What
just went around.
is this?
The old switcheroo, eh? Just went right around him.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah. Ooh.
Almost gets that, but not
Yep.
quite.
Uh-oh.
Look at this. Concave, convex.
We've seen it before.
You can't move through there. You can't do it. It can't be done.
But you can send zealots over here
Ooh.
and try to get some of those probes.
But guess what? Zealots can be warped in to kill those zealots.
Yeah.
And then what?
I don't know. Oh! Okay, he turns around.
No, you
You
can't.
gotta be careful. I mean, if you go
What?
too close with those zealots, the Archons just melt them.
Yeah. I feel like
Microwave 'em.
stats, the way stats is holding, like the spreading of his army, I feel like is so much better. See how like all the zealots are in one place on one side of the Archons for trap? I don't like that. You need to have it more like stats, I think. Because like all those zealots are going to go forward and get eaten, and then like part of the zealots are going to be saved by stats.
It's kind of funny when the math gets fuzzy because you have too many zealots and too many Archons.
Yeah.
And it's like if one chunk branches off in a certain direction, then the game was pretty much decided at that moment.
Yeah.
Let's get a shot of this little attack over here, though.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
now these are great moves.
These are strongest when you're when the other player's maxed out because
Yeah.
you can't warp in.
They are maxed. That's a good point. Okay, what's in there? Is that Archons? It is Archons. He's doing an Archon drop. It's the wrong matchup for that trap.
Oh, he's like, take this, Zerg scum.
Uh-oh.
All right.
The one Phoenix remaining.
Yeah.
That is the bane of his plans here. And down it goes. Look at that.
But Trap is going to move across the map.
He's down 30 supply, though.
Yeah, with less of an overall army.
It's
so
his turn to dance on the other side of the rocks.
it's still 3 Expo versus 3 Expo.
Is
And now he
this
says no rocks will be in this game.
Is this the new thing to hold Archons in your prison? Stats was doing
Well,
it from... he was chasing a prison, though.
Let's think about it for a second. I mean, one thing about all these fights in PvP is a lot of times it comes down to where the Archons actually are. Sometimes they're running around in the back.
Yeah.
I guess if you look at a fight and then you move the Warp Prism up with the 2 Archons in there and just pop them out in the right angle, maybe
Yeah.
the splash does so much.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're +3 at this point. It's a pretty big deal. Okay, 4 DTs walking around for Trap. Nice strategic move here. But overall, the army of stats is better. Trap is kind of relying on getting something done more strategically or tactically.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
this is
he
a lot
might be
of
able to get that
K-boys.
base. Yeah, look at that.
It's one of those moments where they kind of win no matter how they fight. Okay. Archon's coming out. Was that an overextension? Again, the
God, he has so many Archons.
I get why he had the probes attack, but this actually might cost Stats the game. And Trap is so smart. He's taking an expansion to the top right.
It's a gold base. That's a gold base. No, it seems like Trap's DT move might be what ends up deciding, as you said. Okay, the flank of Stats. This is a smart move. He doesn't have a whole lot of other recourse, I think.
Okay, this has to work or Trap should win.
Yeah.
The Archon angles are pretty good here at the bottom for Stats. The Warp Prism juggling as well from Stats.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job with that. The double Guardian Shield over on Trap's side, a little bit better with that. Stats with just a single. And it looks like Stats, is he going to be able to break through? He's got those extra odds, but he doesn't have much else left over.
Archons and Immortals are pretty good. He's got the ability to warp in. There is an Observer here if the DTs come up.
Oh, God. There's cannons here, though. You got to be careful of that Observer. Oh, he has a second one, and he sieges that one. So the DTs should not be able to do. He's making another Archon with it.
That Phoenix was hitting the Warp Prism, but it was eventually picked off. The juggling here is real from Stats. He's pressing forward.
He loses his last Immortal. These Immortals should be able to finish out GG.
Dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He really is. Well.
Stats.
Yeah, Stats.
More like Strats. Dude, that was so good. I mean, when you consider that basically Trap had locked Stats out of winning any game that was longer than that, the fact that he comes in with a perfect attack and just wins it, it's like, okay.
Yeah, the DT move ended up being so strong as well. Just the counter harassment in general from Trap was very good. There's certain things, though, that Stats is just doing better. He's controlling his big armies better.
Yeah.
His Prism Micro is a bit better. I feel like Trap might be coming in strategically slightly on top. You know, tactically slightly on top. But, Stats is just too strong for that.
Okay. We are going to have a short break. It looks like, I'm sorry, which player stepped off stage? What's the Stats?
Is going to the potty.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, Trap, you know, this guy's so close to BlizzCon this year. You know, I think he's of that level where if he's at BlizzCon, we're not surprised. And if he doesn't make it, we're not super surprised either.
No, I'm surprised.
If Trap doesn't make it?
Oh, no, I think so. Move on. Carry on.
Stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if Stats doesn't make it, you're just like, okay, someone needs to remake the system.
Yeah.
Because the best Protoss in the world isn't there. Yeah, no, he's... We should probably nerf Protoss some more and make sure Stats can't make it
Let's
next
keep
year.
that meme just such a reality that it just changes the game entirely.
Well, that's what happens when two races work together. Terran and Zerg finally found common ground.
They shook hands. This is kind of the opposite of the whole StarCraft storyline, where this time it's the Protoss that
they're the evil
we need
ones.
to work against and stop.
Clearly. Anyways, but yeah, Trap right now, he's on the brink of elimination. Now, if Trap loses here, everyone else is going to take a big sigh of relief because especially SOS, right? Because SOS is 25 points behind Trap, so like he literally has to finish ahead of Trap to get to BlizzCon. He has to do it.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
So you're looking at this situation. I think Trap's shown that he's a great player, but Stats always has an answer. I mean, we saw it with a Disruptor pushing into the natural there. For Stats, Stats just held on long enough and then came back with that counterattack. And then in game two, I mean, Trap on paper should have actually won that game. He killed the third base. Stats was sort of stuck trying to lean in on Trap, but then Stats patiently sets up for a nice surround, comes in, has the Archons in the good spot, and wins the game anyways.
Yeah. Really well done.
It's really hard to imagine a game where Trap comes back 3-0 based off the way Game 1 and Game 2 have gone.
Yeah, I think it is unlikely for sure, but, you know, it's PvP, so crazy things can happen, right? You start proxying DT tech or, you know, you get some crazy, like, Adepts shade in a game that maybe you should lose because you're trying to win 3 in a row.
Sure.
But, it's doable, but against Stats, it's so difficult because this guy is the ultimate Protoss, and he has been for a long time.
So Game 3 is going to be on Acid Plant. Again, Stats is sort of the player that wants to just wait. Why are you giggling at me?
Nothing.
What? What did I do?
Nothing. You didn't do anything. I was just, when you started saying Acid Plant, I'm like, just think about, is this where they make all the acid?
Remember I once called it Acid Planet, too? I'm like, a whole planet of acid. I don't know if it's worth even fighting over. So it's going to be on Acid Plant. I don't know what Trap needs to do. Trap is bringing his own style, which does look good, but it seems to be no match for Stats. I mean, Stats is kind of the everything Protoss, where he really He knows how to kind of. He waits. He's like a trapdoor spider. He waits for your attacker strategy to come out. He deflects it. He gets ahead. He closes out the game.
Yeah.
Except for that last game, which was kind of weird, where he just loses his third base, and he's like, oh, no, this is fine. Watch this. And moves the Archons around and wins with a surround. I think we're ready to go. I don't have to fill anymore. Yay! Game 3. Game 3.
Yippee!
Hopefully we get a Game 5, but we might need a miracle, guys. Stats is looking too good. Trap, he's giving it his all, but Stats is the shield of IR. Let's see if our underdog can come back here with 3-0. Otherwise, Stats moves on. Let's go.
GSL SuperTournament Season 2, Round of 16, Match 4. Splice, Stats.
Well, I like how that voice sounds like an orc, but everything else sounds pretty good here.
Yeah.
Jin Air Green Wings, Trap.
Well, part of the problem, too, and this is actually something you and I have spoken about in private before. I don't know if we've ever brought up on GSL.
Let's bring it up now.
The difficulty of one-syllable names and making them sound epic.
Oh,
and it's a one-syllable team with a one-syllable name. You guys would actually be surprised about the things that Tasteless and I talk about with this, where it's like, how do you yell in like a finals of BlizzCon dark?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Think about it. Now, if you
It's
say
difficult.
T-Y, you can go T-Y.
Yeah.
You go dark, you go da. It's one syllable.
It's difficult.
It's tricky.
I think that's part of what's going on here. You know?
Splice. That's.
Yeah. It's one syllable. Whereas Trap, generic Green Wings. Trap. Okay, yeah,
there you go.
Sounds
That
good.
sounds great.
Sounds good. But Splice Stats? No,
It's tricky,
it's
man.
harder. It's harder.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Well, what do the boxer guys do? Oh no, because there's nobody named. There's nobody with a one-syllable name, so it's
In boxing?
The boxing announcers.
Yeah, no, you'd unless Cher is a boxer.
Shit. Unless Korn is a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to shout out.
Band, not
It is.
not a dude.
Yeah, exactly. But if boxers and MMA fighters had IDs, I guess some of them kind of do. They have nicknames.
Yeah, but it's never like even Rocky is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Madonna. 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
3? That's more than Nick Plot.
It's crazy.
It's more than Tasteless. It's the same as
Nick Plot's a tricky one too, man. It's like bop, bop.
Yeah.
Nick Plot.
Yeah. But at least it's 2 syllables.
Yeah. Imagine if you were the player formerly known as Prince and your ID is just a symbol.
Yeah, how do you even do that? That's a difficult one.
You just put the symbol on the screen. I don't know. The player formerly known as Prince is going to lose a game. GG.
So,
anyways,
jumping into this real quick. Stats did a full wall. 99% of the time means Stargate. It's a big mind game in and of itself to not go Stargate, because that's the thing that works well with full wall.
Yeah.
So, of course, Trap is kind of blind countering that. He's going for his own Stargate Phoenix. Oh, not quite a bit. Oh, and now he loses
that little
Phoenix.
shield battery.
Yeah.
That turned out to be pretty handy. Looks like it should just barely get away. Nicely done.
Whoa. I actually wasn't sure if that was going to make it.
Now he's finally going to open up the wall in here. Now the Immortal's almost out. We do have some Trap Stalkers right outside here, with the Nexus starting just behind this. That was a little bit overkill there, using the pickup, but okay. And now these Stalkers will come forward, drive this back a little bit, but I think with the Immortal, Stats is probably going to be okay.
Yeah. Stats, I'm not sure about this game so far.
Yeah.
A little bit weird. He's the probe lift there, and then the lift even on the Stalker right there. It was like, well, I mean, he has 4 Stalkers. You're losing a Phoenix.
Yeah.
100%. All right, so Phoenixes continue on both sides. Kind of an interesting game because you didn't need to make the Immortal. But second Stargate starting up for Trap here. By the way, it does have that quicker Nexus, so Trap is actually looking super good this game.
And Trap really wants to push the issue. He's going to put chip away at that Nexus.
Yeah.
Keeping stats in a pretty defensive spot, but Gyarados, I actually like this game for Trap so far.
Yeah, just the fact that he got the quicker Nexus up and the quicker second Stargate. I don't think that there's any chance for stats to stay on Phoenix. Yeah, in fact, he added a second gate, so... I mean, I think he's just going to make a bunch of Stalkers now, and he already has an Immortal, so it kind of... That would fit into that plan. Like, it's okay to have some Phoenixes. I think he might even be over-making them right now. I want him to stop after this Phoenix. But he didn't make extra gates, so I don't think he will.
Do you think Trap's going to just keep going?
I think Trap's just going to kill him.
I think 100%. I mean, the fact that this Observer is just now going to get over here. Well, and you see the Phoenixes, but you don't have the full confirmation of the second Stargate. He's going to see that and be like, oh, I'm just behind, but I already invested in a lot of Phoenixes. I get no equity out of this at all.
If you're in Phoenix versus Phoenix, the best thing you can do is just keep making Phoenixes, but just the way that this game has looked so far, it's... Yeah. Trap, like, I don't know how he could lose this. Don't fight over shield batteries. That's one way to start.
Okay, the poke in comes.
Yeah, he's trying to camp the Stargate a little bit.
Yeah, you can basically snipe the Phoenixes as they pop out. And you're also still out of range of that
He's playing a dangerous game right now.
Whoa, this is a bad rally here. Oh, I don't know about what Trap's doing.
I'm really surprised he committed that heavily over to that side.
The thing is that numbers are close enough. I don't know if Trap can actually do pickups at all. That's the funny thing. He's like threatening the probes, but then if he actually pulls the trigger.
Yeah.
But I think with those kills, maybe he can just start doing this.
Whoa. He's... Whoa.
Okay, so the battery's up over here.
To gain your lead here. I like the camping the Stargate. It's when he committed more heavily that it got kind of weird, but both sides continue on the Phoenixes going into Fleet Beacons for their Phoenix range.
And he's going to come in once again. Now, if you're not in the right position...
Sick. Okay, he's got it. That's it.
Yep, that's when you can just keep doing damage. It's just very difficult, even with the shield batteries here.
Yeah.
And once those Phoenixes are gone, GG. It's the point of no return.
Okay.
We're starting it.
Trap puts his name on the board, keeps that BlizzCon dream alive. Let's see if Dreamcatcher's next. It's not.
Oh.
If it's map 5, though, that's really good. Let's take a look.
They don't have that graphic up yet.
No. It'll come, though.
We've got some good 80s music going on right now. The synth is real.
I like this type of music.
Yeah, it's good.
Reminds me of movies from my childhood.
Yeah. What was that movie that came out a while back? The one that was practically a love letter to the 80s? Kung Fury.
Oh,
God, that was so funny.
That was fantastic.
That was great. I was watching that. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
We as the human race have gone to the next level
Yeah.
of cool and entertainment. Guys, Trap needs to keep the comeback going. It was a weird game. Trap, I think, very smartly got the second Stargate up, did the position play, eventually beat up stats area-wise, won the game, but how will he do it in Game 4? Let's find out.
GSL SuperTournament Season 2, Round of 16, Match 4. Splice Stats.
Well, we still be laughing in the finals when he's
I know.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap.
Do you think Trap will take this one and bring us to 5?
Well, look, I want that to happen. I don't think so. I think Phoenix games are kind of a weird, funny thing in PvP where you can get an edge at a point in time in the game, and it's a lot easier to close it out.
Yes.
The thing with Trap is he's actually, like for instance in Game 2, he actually had an edge close to the end there. But then Stats looks at it, and he has some time to kind of adapt and try to, like, okay, all the numbers are flying in front of his face like Matrix code, and eventually he sees the strategy, the counterattack, he does it. I don't think Stats is going to allow for a game like Game 3, so I actually think Stats is going to take this 3-1, but I would be very pleased to go to Game 5.
Yeah.
How's that for an answer?
It's exactly what I thought you'd say.
Thank you.
You said it so well.
Wow. Really give it my all. So here comes that probe. Going to scout the main here for Trap.
Yes. That's exactly what he's going to do. Phoenix is moving around the map.
Phoenix is moving around the map. Wait, no, they're not. No, there's no Phoenix in the game.
I'm a phony! I'm a fraud!
I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I gotta go home. Okay.
Same openings.
Yep. We're waiting to see if there is going to be a deviation here, or if it's going to be them just mirroring each other and then expanding, because nobody can really do anything to hurt the other one.
This is a really pretty map. I like that main base.
Yeah, the StarCraft maps are getting better and better, too. So, there's not much to say, guys, until we see something. Okay, Robo.
Yes, indeed.
And a Nexus here.
Okay, so this is a very decisive play to go for that Robo right now. See where he goes with it. Is he just going to go for the Prism 3-gate, or are we going to see the Sentry Immortal push after the Nexus?
There'll be a scout coming up here soon for Stats. Stats does have a probe over here at the far upper left, and he's now moving that, so that may be sent out to make something. He might just want to confirm that there's no Nexus over there, because when you see there's no Nexus, then you have to be ready for something that's going to come attack you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you both, good position.
Well, even just the timing of this Nexus is going to tell him something's up. A tech structure was made before the Nexus, so that's actually super, super helpful. We might see, like, for instance, right now you know that this is going to be likely maybe an Oracle. It could be the Robo push. You know, there's a few different things. And, of course, the Phoenix hallucination will show him exactly what's going on.
So there's a Robo coming down now for Stats. Now, Stats has got his Nexus up. The Robo hasn't been out long enough for Trap to really capitalize on it and try to apply pressure.
He's trying to crab walk out of there.
He did.
He didn't see the Immortal, but this is actually easy to tell that this is exactly what's going on.
Still, though, having that at least hidden.
Yeah.
Whoop. He's like going to send the Immortal here to try to kill it and just destroy everything we were talking about.
This has been a build forever in PvP.
Sure.
Like, to go for a Robo into the Nexus and just do an Immortal push. So yeah, look at that. He's got 3 sentries on top of his ramp and adding a second shield battery. He should be able to hold this, I would say.
Yeah, it'll come down to control, somewhat.
Yeah.
Now the Immortals are coming out, so really Stats wants to try to hang on for as long as possible until his Immortals come out. Until he has a Warp Prism he can juggle with.
And there's so many force fields available here for Stats. It's hard to imagine him being broken.
And the force fields are less to just trap armies and kill them.
Sorry, Trap. No BlizzCon this year, buddy.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He's going to have to try to keep probes alive and micro this perfectly.
Ooh!
Well, you know what?
High quality move.
Okay, this is kind of a funny thing because he got the Immortal stuck, but eventually it bounced out. Now, 4 probes were killed there, a little bit less than I thought. It seems like Stats was preoccupied trying to hold his ramp, I think, as he should have been, instead of trying to kill off workers. So,
yeah,
you know, the probes are not shift-clicked down there.
Look at this. He's into glaives, Tasteless. The addiction won't stop.
Yes.
Trap is going to go for it. Hey, you know what? It gives him a real shot in the game. So I like it. I like it.
Trap's orbiting around the main and probably will go towards a natural eventually here. Just trying to kill off workers, anything he can get.
Yeah.
Now look at that worker disparity. It's been 40 to 38. Now Stats has had a worker lead for a while here, an economic lead. I mean, his army's bigger. And a lot of times in games like this, we'll just see the other player attack back. Or just take a third and attack back. I mean, there's a lot of options here because you haven't done that much.
Okay. I'm very interested with the Forge that just went down for Trap. Because, well, the thing is, you can play a longer game with Glaives as well, and you don't have to stay on Adepts.
Yeah, but generally speaking, this Glaives upgrade is kind of meant for a point in the game where you've got all this damage out here, you do a lot of it at once, and the game tips over in your favor.
The Adept really is the Protoss Roach. It doesn't scale well into late game. So just to see the Forge come up after Glaives is halfway done, it doesn't really fit in super duper well. You can use it as a defensive measure sometimes.
I agree. It feels like it's not a streamlined build.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the plan is from Trap. Maybe he's giving himself a bit of a backup here. Wow, these Immortals are actually doing really well.
Well, it doesn't seem like Trap's going to be able to poke in for a while here with that War Prism, at least not in that position. And we got two guys powering on two bases. Good spot there by Stats, using the Hallucinated Phoenix just to get an eye on where is this War Prism? Has it gone back? Is it grouped up with another big push to come in here? And now we're in the part of the game where Archons are going to become a reality. And it's that Immortal Archon combination that's so strong.
Yeah. And he's not doing anything with the Glaives. It's just, he has Glaives. I believe he owns 2 Adepts. And that's it. He's making a third base.
It's funny because it's this pattern we keep seeing here from Trap. Now, in the games that he does it in, it basically doesn't work. I mean, guys, Trap won his one game here so far with just the Phoenix play. Oh my gosh.
Jeez Louise. Well, that was a very good shield battery. But you know what? I mentioned before, like, you can use Glaives defensively. There is a defensive play with Glaives where if you're kind of defending around your own buildings and stuff, Glaved Adepts beat Zealots because the Zealots won't get the right surface area, and Glaved Adepts do a lot of damage to them. So, I mean, it could be for something like that. No, I guess he's making a lot. He's planning on something here.
Yeah, he seems to feel like this works. I mean, let's see what happens exactly here. But
and like
from everything we understand, Stats is going to a better place in the late game.
And the numbers that we see right now, Trap like counters these Zealots pretty hard. But obviously, as the game gets much bigger, much longer, the Zealots become more valuable. That each one of those Adepts costs an additional 25 gas on top of what these Zealots cost.
It is another thing to keep in mind is the way the Zealots create the surface area for the fight. They kind of close in and then limit micro potential on the other side. I mean, the Zealots are funny because they have a kind of weird use. On paper, you'd look at them and think, okay, they're there to just fight on the ground, but a lot of times they're there to soak damage or kind of block off certain areas in fights. Or it's weird. Now, I just don't see this working. No. Going up a ramp like this?
He can't do it. This is just like the Dreamcatcher game, where he's walking around. Well, one side is walking around, the other side is just mirroring. And well, now it looks like I'm watching Blackpink. Okay, he did it.
Natural. He got in.
And now he has the ramp. That's pretty strong.
Okay, kind of surprising to see that happen like that. The Blink has come in here. The War Prism is being used to juggle some of these Stalkers, Archons, possibly Immortals up to the high ground.
Oh my gosh, look at this. That huge shade with the Adepts. I wonder, okay, he's moving it back now. Gets right on top of absolutely everything, and Trap's done it, man. Absolutely. Outmaneuvered Stats there just for a moment, but he finds his way in.
The army positioning is too good. Well, hold on a second. No?
No, Stats doesn't have any probes left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good call, Artosis. I was watching that fight and thinking, oh, okay, he held it up, and no, he has no workers.
Yeah.
Again, another situation where I kind of thought Stats had a shot, but once
Stats won.
Stats did tap out then.
No, Trap tapped out.
Trap tapped out, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I feel like something has gone haywire in my brain right now.
Well, these days are pretty long. We just took it back to Korea after a long vacation. So, okay. That's what I thought happened. Then you said that, and I said, oh, okay, good correction. But
I think I must have looked at the wrong ID or something. I don't know.
It's okay.
Whatever. I'm jet
You are
lagged,
forgiven.
guys. I got back yesterday.
You are forgiven. So that means we have our players who advanced, at least for the first half of the Super Tournament. Now, we're going to be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's 5 p.m. It's earlier than a normal GSL Code S day, so you do not want to miss this. And, of course, Saturday, Sunday, we continue on with the Super Tournament. And by Sunday, we have a winner.
That's right. And
we know who's going to be going to BlizzCon.
Trap is not going to BlizzCon. So right now, there's 3 players vying for one spot. That is SOS, who's in the lead, Solar, and Sue. Sue plays tomorrow, and we'll see if he can get that first victory, his first step towards BlizzCon. But
Yes.
SOS definitely has the advantage right now. Solar and Sue are both looking for pretty big efforts. Like if
Pretty big
we'll
efforts.
talk more about it tomorrow.
As they say.
Pretty big efforts.
So here are the results we have today. Maru, SOS, Solar, and Stats are the survivors. They're going to go to the round of 8.
Indeed.
But what about tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow are some great matches as well. In fact, I bet you they'll be even better than these.
I bet you they'll show us on that slide. Nope. Oh, I guess you can kind of see over there on the far right.
Sue vs. Bunny, Leenock vs. Dark, Fantasy Classic, and Creator TY. You look at this, and everything looks one-sided. TY should beat Creator. Classic should beat Fantasy. Dark, well, I mean, Leenock's my boy, so I'm not going to say anything there.
You're a bias caster. How could you?
Well, I mean, anyways, this is going to be great. I'm excited. To see Fantasy back is so exciting for
It's
so
crazy.
many reasons. The fact StarCraft 1 is a lot bigger than StarCraft 2 in Korea.
Right.
And the fact that Fantasy, one of the greatest Terrans ever to have lived in StarCraft 1, chose StarCraft 2 over StarCraft 1, that's just cool. That's really cool that he decided that.
It really is. So,
And here he
very
is.
thrilled to see Fantasy playing, but of course, Classic. I mean, that guy is pretty crazy. But keep your fingers crossed. Fantasy's done the impossible in StarCraft 1. He could certainly do it here in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. He must be feeling good
and
about
he's
the
back
game.
From his military service.
That's right.
Correct. So
he's a
sometimes you see
programmer
these
as long as he
players,
wants.
Again, guys, everybody has to do 2 years of military, about 2 years of military here in Korea, if you're a Korean. So you'll see these players disappear, and if you're like most people, you don't have to serve in the military. You might be like, where'd they go? He's back. Let's see how he does tomorrow. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow at the GSL Super Tournament.
GSL Super Tournament Season 2.